What's good? All right, man. I don't know what was going on with that stuff, man. I got Curtis Anderson coming back, man. It's just like everything shut down, man. Crazy. What's going on, Phil Redden? How you feeling, man? We good. We back in here, man. Yeah, we're back, man. I don't know what happened. Can you hear me?
Yes, Fannon, I can hear you.
All right. I'm just trying to make sure that I can be heard on this. Can y'all? What is this? Oh, there you go. All right, yeah, okay, cool. Cats can hear me, man. I don't know what happened there, man. What's going on, Dana Jones? Yeah, man, we back. Voice TV, Darnell Kirkland, what's going on, man? Nigel Wright, what's going on, man? Let's wait for some cats to get back in here, man. Oh, Jimmy Ladd said there's only one Tyson Fury, man. I like Tyson Fury. Hey, man, Curtis, what does Tyson Fury got to do to win this fight, man?
He has to use his legs, use his size, pump the jab, move to his right, not his left, because he moved to his left, he'd be in range for a Wilder's right hand. So he had to move to his right and jab and double jab, use his legs, get on the inside, tie up. Wilder use his weight to lean on him. So he has to be very cagey and show a lot of moxie and savvy to beat Wilder. He has to neutralize Wilder's right hand and use his own boxing skills and size to beat Wilder.
Man, that's gonna be a tall order for a cat, man. That I'm kind of split on this fight, man. It's like a lose-lose for me because I like Tyson Fury a lot, man. I like his personality a lot more. I mean, I think he's a very, very good fighter. His size is obviously his biggest weapon and his length. I just think that I don't think that rib cage. I don't know if Deontay Wilder has ever really been somebody that focused very heavily on the body. I know I've seen him go take straight rights to the body, but I think if Deontay Wilder really starts catching him to the body, man, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. But I agree with you with how dude would have to go about doing that, man. That's just real tough. Dana Jones said today is Bud's birthday. Hey, man, happy birthday to Bud Crawford, man. And best luck to you in your next fight, man. Hey, so how did my man is Redden? Oh, it's two cats' last names is Redden. That's what's up. Yeah, Philip, I don't know what happened, man. It was just like the whole shit just went away, man. It was crazy. It was like, I want to say 100 people dropped off, like in a minute. So maybe it's something that happened in some section of the country or something. I don't know, man. What happened? But it kind of threw me off, man, because I got to get my train of thought back on. And it's tough, man, because you don't know, when cats are going to be able to get back on. If you didn't, notifications are crazy because, it is what it is. Hey, is there anything you want to talk about specifically, Curtis?
Well, we could talk about I'm anticipating the bantamweight tournament. I want to see, I hope Anui from Japan fights Zolani Tete. I think that's a great fight. The December 1st card, we went over that, but I'm really, really excited about that card. Andre the Saunders, I was excited about that, but we don't know if the fight is going to be canceled. I'm excited about Jacobs and Derevyanchenko. I think that's going to be a very good fight. They know each other very well. It's the last, obviously, it's the last telecast on HBO. So I want to see how Jacob does because I picked Derevyanchenko to beat Jacob, especially if he fought like he did against Selecki. He's going to lose. So it's this in general terms, just talking about the upcoming boxing schedule, and I'm excited about the new 3-year deal. I'm hearing there's going to be a lot of boxing shows in 2019, $150 million deal over the next 3 years. So I'm anticipating a lot of big time matches come up for us. I wonder if Mikey Garcia is serious about Earl Spence. I don't want that fight. I don't like that fight. I want him to fight Lomachenko, and I'm hearing Charlo is going to fight Willie Monroe in November 10th. I'm hearing Christina Hammer and Clarissa Shields is done for November 17th or December. Don't quote me on that, but I know one of the months. And so it's just in general terms, I just want boxing to get back to its rightful place. Boxing used to be so big that Jack Dempsey was once a more popular figure than Babe Ruth. You had Muhammad Ali and Sugar Ray Leonard and Mike Tyson, Oscar De La Hoya, and Floyd Mayweather. So, for the love of the sport, I just want to see it get back to its rightful place.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Speaking of which, man, I think it's about time for the George Groves Callum Smith fight to come on, right?
Oh, thank you for that. That's today.
Yeah.
That's today, yes.
I think that's about to come on right now.
You're right. 1 o'clock my time, Eastern time. Yes, yep.
It's a half hour away.
Yep.
It's a half hour. Maybe that's why cats dropped off. We got them British cats going to see that fight because we got a lot of cats. I think that's what's up, man. Yeah, because I just realized that when you said that, because I was like, let's go down the fight card. Because so today you got Devin Haney later tonight at 9 tonight against Burgos. Then tonight on ESPN you got Jose Uzcategui fighting. So it's a lit up day today, man. I was thinking, but of course tomorrow is Linares and Cotto. It would have been Victor Ortiz, John Molina, but he, wound up filling up on some chicks and getting busted. And then I think we're done for September. That's about it for September. November. Now, hey, let me ask you a question before we get out of here, because I'm definitely going to make sure I get enough time to watch this fight, man. Myris Mangan said, why was I blocked or put on timeout, bro? You weren't. What happened was that some shit crazy went down with the channel, and I don't know, man. I wouldn't have blocked you. I didn't see you. You definitely weren't blocked. But timeout, I don't know. I think you said something. You might have said something about Deontay. Last comment I was actually referring to you was when you talked about the age of the fighters with Deontay Wilder, and the average age of the fighters is like 40 fighters that he fought. Dude, there's a lot of older heavyweights, man. That's one of the bad things about the heavyweight division is everybody's so damn old. But it is what it is, man. I certainly didn't block you, man. Because I didn't have a problem with you saying it, but I will finish my point that I was making, which was, what does that have to do with with Deontay Wilder fighting Anthony Joshua? It's like whenever we talk about Anthony Joshua, Deontay, when I talk about Anthony Joshua, I'm talking about what I think will happen with a fight between Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. And what comes back a lot is an attempt to discredit Deontay Wilder, right? Anthony Joshua knocked out Vladimir Klitschko. Vladimir Klitschko was 41. He just fought Alexander Povetkin, who was 40. Before that, he fought Carlos Takam, who was 38 or 39 years old. You know what I mean? So it's people. He fought Eric Molina. Eric Molina was older when Anthony Joshua fought him than when Deontay Wilder fought him, because they fought him first. Deontay Wilder fought Eric Molina first. So it is, can Anthony Joshua beat him or not? That's the question that I got, man. But AJ has a better resume. I don't believe that. Anthony Joshua got half the fights that Deontay Wilder does. He got half the fights. He's not made it through 40 people. When Anthony Joshua, there's value in there's some credit you should give to somebody who's knocked out everybody they fought, man. It's not like he's going the distance with Joseph Parker, right? It's not like he got some shady knockouts on it. He's knocked out everybody he's fought. He could not possibly have done any better against anybody he's ever fought, man. That's just, to me, that's like you're telling me that he got beat up and he got a questionable decision, or he went the distance with these guys. He knocked them out. He won the fight. He knocked the guys out. And it's very, very, very rare for somebody to knock out 39 heavyweights, man. And so if you want me to give the same people that will say, hey, give Anthony Joshua the credit that he's due, will not come close to giving Deontay Wilder the credit that he deserves. He's fought 39 heavyweights, and he's 39 different heavyweights, and he's knocked out everybody he ever went in the ring with. He's the longest reigning heavyweight champion. I hear people talk about he's never fought a ranked opponent. That's not possible. He's a champion. You can't win a champion without You can't win a championship without beating a ranked fighter because you beat the champion or you beat a guy for a vacant belt who had to be in the top 3. You know what I mean? It's just not possible. He fought a mandatory. The mandatory has to be in the top 3. But people will point to the rankings of fighters, BoxRec rankings, even if the rankings even matter. Have you looked at the rankings and looked? You know who the WBC number 2 cat in the WBA is right now? The number 2 rated WBA heavy number 2 guy in the WBA. You know who that is, Curtis?
Wait a minute. Trevor Bryan is number 1. No, it escapes me.
Think old and don't deserve to be there.
Fraser Kendall. Fraser Kendall.
Fraser Kendall is the number 2 rated. Let me go back here. He's the number 3 rated. And I think this is old. Since Alexander Povetkin just got knocked out. Fraser Kendall is going to be the number 2 rated champion, the number 3 rated guy in the WBA. Otto Walland is number 7. Guillermo Jones. Didn't Guillermo Jones start his career at like middleweight or some shit?
I know it was a lighter weight division. He's still around? I'm even shocked for now. Jesus.
Listen to the rankings. Listen to the top 10 rankings. Trevor Bryan for WBA. Trevor Bryan, Povetkin, Fraser Kendall. Then you got Jarrell Miller, Dillian White, Derek Chisora, Otto Wallen, Bryant Jennings, Guillermo Jones, BJ Flores. Guillermo Jones, BJ Flores, and Alexander Povetkin and Fraser Kendall are all in the top 10 of the WBA.
Jesus.
That's what I'm saying. What ranking system? What ranked fighters? You got Junior Fall at the number 12 in the WBO. You have, I'm not going to count them, but if you look at the top 10 from the 4 major sanctioned bodies, it is possible that you would have 40 different top 10 fighters. It's theoretically possible that you have 40 different ones, but you have in the top 10, you have a couple of them that are in there, Dillian White and like Dominic Brazil. Let me see who's all in the top 10. Dillian White is 5. Dillian White is not ranked by the IBF because and why isn't Dillian White ranked in the IBF? Because he ducked Luis Ortiz. You got Xing Zhang in the WBO top 10. Kyoto Fujimoto. I get Capiel. Tyrone Spong. Who the fuck are these dudes? These are the top guys that you think for 1 second that you cats would actually give Deontay Wilder credit for fighting, dude. Come on, man. Anyway, my point is AJ will be, and appreciate the super chat, Myron Maggis. He said, my point is AJ will be Wilder's biggest test, but Wilder was not AJ's biggest test. If it is, then we're saying, wow, that's fucking ridiculous, dude. You're trying to, Deontay Wilder is not going to be Anthony Joshua's biggest test? How do you figure that? Anthony Joshua's biggest fight win on his resume is Vladimir Klitschko, who is 41 years old, had not fought for 2 years, and was coming off of a loss. Who's the other one? Charles Martin and Joseph Parker? Joseph Parker just got beat by Dillian White, a guy that Anthony Joshua had already beat. That's what I'm saying, man. You guys want to give Anthony Joshua's credit, but then you want to say that a undefeated 40-0 with 39 knockout champion, a guy that's knocked out everybody he's ever fought, is not Anthony Joshua's biggest test. Why is Anthony Joshua a bigger test than a 6'4", 250-pound undefeated southpaw Cuban knockout artist? And Anthony Joshua ducked. In my opinion, he ducked. You couldn't pay Anthony Joshua enough money to fight Luis Ortiz. I think the opposite is true, and I'll get Kurt's opinion on it before I go watch this Billy Joe Saunders fight. But I see it the exact opposite. I think Deontay Wilder is easily Anthony Joshua's biggest test. Because Deontay Wilder's in his prime, he's undefeated, and he is a one-punch knockout artist. Anthony Joshua is a very good test for Deontay Wilder, but I don't see him being see him being stylistically an easier fight and a less dangerous fight than Luis Ortiz. Your thoughts, Kurt?
Who says that? It's ridiculous. They don't know boxing. Obviously, Wilder is a dangerous man. Joshua is not elbowing his way in the ring to get in the ring with him. So, he's afraid of Wilder, I believe, but because of pressure, they eventually fight. But just look at Joshua's opponents, Takam, old small heavyweight, Parker, another small heavyweight, and Povetkin. That's not exactly Norton Frazier, and Murder's Row. It's not exactly Murder's Row. He's scared to hell. He ducked Luis Ortiz, my opinion, the second best heavyweight in the division after Wilder, of course. He doesn't want to get in the ring with Wilder. Hearn wants to keep Joshua away from Wilder because he's feared. So they all know, even the fans of the UK tell me, Wilder is feared and Joshua fears him. But because of the pressure from the fans and outlets of the LDBC, they will eventually fight. So it will be very easily his toughest and stiffest test. And when Wilder does knock him out, I don't want to hear any excuses. So to say that is just utter ridiculous.
Dana Jones said them dudes Eddie Hearn paid to get ranked believe that them WBA ranking is shameful and they know it. I mean, it is, and that's what I'm saying. That's what Blood Boxing says all the time, man. What ranking system? What ranking system, man? You got the ranking system. The sanctioning bodies work hand in hand with the promoters, and if somebody wants to fight, if they want to set up a fight, miraculously that guy gets ranked like that. You have the WBA stripped Luis Ortiz of his ranking for a test, for a fight, for a WBC sanctioned fight where the WBC didn't even sanction him. But the WBA sanctioned him and put him out of the rankings, suspended him for the rankings. What do you think the chances of Luis Ortiz getting to the top of the WBA ranking system is again? When Eddie Hearn said that maybe we'll just vacate the belt if we have to do it because he's not a moneymaker. Luis Ortiz isn't a moneymaker, but Carlos Takam is. I mean, what is that? He's not a big money maker, but Alexander Povetkin is. How was that? If you think that if Anthony Joshua was such a big attraction that anybody he fights will sell, then he should be able to fight anybody. Luis Ortiz fight should sell. It'll sell just like Carlos Takam's, or just like Alexander or Pulev's, or just like maybe not Dillian White, but we know right now Dillian White's probably going to be the guy that the dude fights next, man. Let me move down to this next one. DOG said you can't pay AJ to say Ortiz's name. Heck no. They ain't about to fight that dude, man. A southpaw counter-punching knockout artist, Luis Ortiz. I mean, who would want to get in there? First of all, he's waiting for you to throw a punch. He throws when you throw. It ain't like he's just going to back down and move away, try to jab, throw these little. No, he's sitting there waiting for you to throw something so he can mollywop your ass. No. And you know Anthony Joshua's chinny, man. But it is what it is, man. But I didn't block you for saying that, man. All I'm saying is, come on, man. You're saying that there ain't nobody on Anthony Joshua that Anthony Joshua's ever met that's a bigger threat than Deontay Wilder. Yeah, Valerton said nobody cares. Fannon, I would bet $10,000 with confidence AJ don't go 12 rounds against Ortiz. Nah, I would bet $10,000 with confidence he don't even go one. He ain't gonna get in the ring with it. Said, hey man, I respect you, champ. But if Wilder lose, we gonna look the dumbest asses on YouTube. You just don't want us losing our integrity. Dude, that has nothing to do, Myron, that has nothing to do with integrity. If I think Deontay Wilder is the biggest test for him, and he wins, he passes the test. That's all it is. That means Anthony Joshua won the fight. There's no shame in Deontay Wilder fighting Anthony Joshua and losing it. There's no shame in it. It's not, oh, you got to run away from boxing. People lose boxing matches all the time, especially in the heavyweight division. But the thing is here, this is my thing. And Curtis, you tell me if you've ever seen this. It's Deontay Wilder ain't about shit right now, right? But watch Anthony Joshua knock him out. He'll become the biggest killer in history. If Anthony Joshua beats him, Deontay Wilder will immediately turn into the biggest killer ever. After the fact, but before the fact, he ain't nothing. Just kind of like Lomachenko and Rigondeaux. Rigondeaux, wasn't all that. He was this. He's overrated. He's boring. Lomachenko beats him, and all of a sudden, yeah, he's a two-time Olympic, undefeated, great champion, and he proves what a great fighter Lomachenko is, man. If anything, what I'll say with Anthony Joshua, if Anthony Joshua beats Deontay Wilder, is damn, Anthony Joshua passed the test. Congratulations. Who are you going to fight next? Your thoughts, Curtis?
Well, that's correct. It's always like that when they think their fighter doesn't have a chance or a slim chance, and they happen to get lucky or just have a good night that night, and all of a sudden, Deontay Wilder was a killer. He hit harder than Shavers. We slayed the dragon type of mentality. But before that, you wasn't sure. You didn't know. So when you beat a guy that the public deemed the favorite, or you're gonna lose, and then you have this slay the dragon attitude. You're walking around with your chest poked out. It's been like that numerous times in boxing. I have nothing against Anthony Joshua. I just want to see him get in the ring with Wilder. If he beats Wilder, congratulations. If Wilder beats him, congratulations to Wilder. I told you so. But it's just, I just don't like, the Hearn and Joshua, the angles they take. It's a clear duck. They ducked Ortiz, and so now they ducking Wilder, and like I said, Anthony Joshua, I don't think he's that good, but I respect anybody who enters the square circle. We just want to see you fight the best fighters.
Exactly, man. Hey, D-Lo 404 Boxmore said, Fannon, Curtis Anderson, how often is a current champion allowed to fight for a vacant title, especially versus an inactive fighter? Well, fight for a vacant title, a current champion for a vacant title. I don't know. That's a good question for Curtis Anderson. I don't know how many times as a current, like that's pretty much what you're saying. So you're like, the IBF champion, who is Errol Spence Jr., would they have allowed Errol Spence Jr. to fight Sean Porter for the vacant WBC belt? That's an interesting question. Just off that, I wouldn't think that they would allow that to happen.
That's a very good question. That's a very good question. But
wow,
for now,
because they're not ranked. But they're not, because they're not ranked in that sanctioning body.
Right.
I would think you'd have to have two ranked fighters fight for a vacant belt. That's wow. Go ahead, Curtis. Sorry.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I'll cut you off. I'm gonna say this, and I don't think people realize in depth how corrupt boxing is. I hate to say it. I could say it because these are facts. It's not alleged. I was very close with Bob Lee. He was the president of the IBF. And it was right in East Orange. I'm in Newark, New Jersey. It was in East Orange, New Jersey, the IBF headquarters. This is going back, some years. And it was so corrupt. I seen it with, face first. I seen it. Fighters being in the office, promoters. He went to jail for 22 months. Not only he was fired as president, he went to jail for 22 months because the FBI was investigating him. And he was hit with like about 15 to 20 corrupt charges. So I said that to say that payola is everything. When you see a guy that's ranked 2 or 3, like Fraser Kendall, who hasn't fought since Richard Nixon was president, and somehow, some way, he's up there in rankings, it's because his promoter is paying organizations under the table money. Money talks. It's called payola.
Yeah, he ain't lying. And also, it's in the, I read the WBC rules. And the WBC rules basically, they have a couple of words in there that says, unless otherwise, and I'm just paraphrasing here, unless the WBC president doesn't think that it's in the interest of boxing, right? So they have every rule in there can be broken if the WBC president, if Mauricio Suleiman believes that breaking that rule is in the best interest of boxing. So I haven't read the WBA, but if the WBA has that line in there, then the WBA president, probably with a majority vote of whoever their directors are, if they have 7 directors, along with 4 directors, can do whatever they want. But now that you mentioned it, and I've never even thought about that. That's like Errol Spence Jr. could have lobbied to become the mandatory to fight Danny Garcia for the WBC belt. He didn't unify with a champion. He fought for a vacant belt while you're a sitting champion. I'd have to look to see if I've ever heard of that happening before.
That's a very good question.
That's odd. Yeah, that's super shaky because he should have really, if it was like the WBC and the and the IBF, because it wasn't Anthony Joshua the IBF champion?
Yes, he was.
Yeah, so it was the IBF and the WBA, not the IBF and the WBC. So Errol Spence Jr. could have fought Sean Porter for that vacant belt. Or yeah, that's crazy. That's a step cousin from just going ahead and making the championship the mandatory, like making the IBF champion the mandatory challenger for the WBC. That shit would be crazy. Like if they really wanted to force it, they could make the IBF champion the mandatory. Like they can do whatever if they did that. That would be crazy. But they stripped Guillermo Rigondeaux. Guillermo Rigondeaux lost the 122-pound championship last year, the WBA 122-pound belt, for a fight that took place at 130. Right, so all he could do was lose the belt. He couldn't win anything. All he could do was lose it. And now, who was the champion? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, what's the champion? Is it not Magdaleno or the guy that beat Moises Flores, right? Is the champion down in there. Can't remember his name. I get it in a second. I got the spreadsheet open, all these champions. But whatever it is, man, it's just who is the champion, just so we can add the question. And Daniel Roman was the guy. And now Guillermo Rigondeaux isn't rated anywhere inside of any of the sanctioning bodies at 122 pounds, although he never lost a fight at that weight class. Yeah.
Fannon, I'm still confused about WBA implementing a regular champion and super champion. Holy smokes. My father's rolling over in his grave because we was boxing fans growing up. I'm just confused about the politics in boxing and the belts. It's just not my strong suit. It's like playing 3-card Molly.
Yeah, it is, man. That shit just ruined my day thinking about that. Damn, dog. I did not realize that just knowing that it was happening, I never even thought about that. Do you remember also how Gary Russell Jr., not Gary Russell, but Gervonta Davis is the 126-pound. Yeah. AJ, that's what that's what you're talking about. Yeah, we knew that's what you were referring to when you said it. Much love in the super chat. That's what I'm saying. Anthony Joshua fought Klitschko for the WBA vacant strap. That's what I'm saying. I know that. When you brought it up, I knew that's what you were referring to, and I just assumed that you knew that I knew what you were talking about as soon as you said it. But I'm looking, is there any other time where I've seen that? That's crazy, kind of crazy. It doesn't seem like something that is consistent, but the WBA is very, very, very inconsistent, man. It's crazy anyway, man. Yeah. So, hey, look, man, we got to let's wrap this up, man. I think my man is going to get on an hour, World Breaker Fighting. I don't want to keep ball hogging this stream, man. And I think I should be at about the hour and 15 we were. Curtis Anderson, man, we got to do it again, man.
Hey, I'm just want to say this. I'm on Marlo's Corner. I'm a resident guest there. You can find me on other streams. But if it wasn't for you, Fannon, I would not be on Marlo's Corner because you told me to go there 3 or 4 months ago, and that's how my name got out there. Trey X gave me the name Kurt Sugar. So I thank you for that. I thank you for having me on my stream. I'm still learning. I thank you for the accolades. You have a great channel, your content, your knowledge, and with the lawyer's twist. I always say that your channel is very different, and thanks for having me on.
Man, I appreciate that, Kurt Sugar. We gotta do it again soon. Hey, thanks to everybody in the super chat, man. Let me make sure, just go through real quick, make sure I didn't miss one, because man, my man D-Lo, I think, was the last one. I appreciate you guys very much, man. Let me know. Hey, Marin Mangus, man, we appreciate the conversation, man. It's all good. Appreciate the respectful conversation. And man, you shouldn't get blocked for that. I don't know. Sometimes, people get real sensitive about insults and things, man, because you would be really, really surprised how many people come to the channel doing over the top type trolling stuff. So, people's fingers get itchy, but I would definitely respect what your contribution to the chat, man. And I certainly hope you come back. And look, man, we'll get back with you, man. I'm probably going to try to do another collab this week, hopefully with my man McGregor Boxing Stars. I should note out to him. Hey, Kurt, I'm probably going to hit you up this weekend, see if you want to talk some boxing. If you're available. If not, man, check my man out on Marlo's Corner. Great channel. Subscribe to the channel so you can hear my man, do his thing over there. And with that, that's what's up, Myron Mangus, man. It's all love, man. All right, man. And we'll get back at you. Peace.
Peace.